This is day 13 of the Marriage Motivator series, and today we're talking about not throwing in the towel on your marriage. You know, divorce is not always the answer for your marital problems. You don't have to do this. God can help you through these situations. Trust Him. You know, you've been through too much to throw in the towel. Even if you're early in your marriage, you had that time of dating when you met, you had the wedding and all the wedding plans, you had that reception, you had to pay for those expensive flowers together. I mean, you've been through a lot together. I just want you to know that there are challenges in every marriage, besides the fact that we're both male and female, which means we are already very different. We have health challenges. We have relationship challenges. We have challenges with our kids. We have finance challenges. I mean, we're going to have challenges, and so we have to get through them together. And it's easier to get through them together than it is to get through them separated. With God's help, you can persevere and prevail. Overcoming challenges together can lead to stronger bonds. So view these challenges as opportunities for growth in your marriage. And you may say, yes, but we're so different. I mean, our personalities are different. We have different backgrounds, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're all different. I like what Adrian Rogers said. He said about male and female, he said, God made us different to make us one. See, God has given the wife strengths and abilities and the husband strengths and abilities, and together you are stronger as one. So here's what I want you to do. If you're thinking about throwing in the towel, don't do it. I want you to go to your spouse with a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to say to your spouse, hey, will you just write down, maybe bullet point, write down the specific issues that you believe that we have, and I'm going to do the same thing, and then we'll come together and we will share notes and see how we can solve each issue. And I think when you do that, you'll realize that there were not as many as you thought there were. Whenever you actually put them to paper, they become less than what's in your head. You know, these same issues will probably show up in another marriage if you decide to divorce and get married again. They'll probably show up again because you haven't dealt with them now. You know, as a Christian, whether you divorce or not, God commands that we forgive each other, right? He says that we should forgive each other as Christ forgives us. And so I want to encourage you to go ahead and forgive now, and it'll save you a world of heartache. If you don't deal with unforgiveness, just know that unforgiveness breeds bitterness, and bitterness breeds depression, and depression actually breeds suicide. It's a very slippery slope, so be very careful with unforgiveness. So what else should you do? Well, you should pray. You should pray for yourself. You should pray for your spouse. You should pray that each of you will change what you need to change to make the marriage better. If you have kids, you need to pray for your kids and their hearts. You need to pray for reconciliation and pray for forgiveness and grace and mercy. You know, grace is getting what you don't deserve, and mercy is not getting what you do deserve. And so pray for God's mercy and grace, and He is good to give it out. Another bit of advice would be go to a Christian counselor. And the reason you should go to a Christian counselor is because God is called the wonderful counselor. And I believe He's given some of His people a lot of His wisdom so they can help you. All right, I'm going to give you 9 reasons why you should not throw in the towel on your marriage. You ready? Number 1 is it causes emotional distress and will disrupt some social relationships. I mean, one of you is going to have to move. You may have to get another job. You may have to move to another city. You never know what it's going to cause you to do. Number 2 is that many times someone who divorces usually remarries someone that is just like their ex. And the reason they do that is because they're looking for somebody to help heal them of their wounds. The third reason why you shouldn't throw in the towel is that you're breaking the covenant that you made before God, family, and friends. I mean, you said, till death do us part. And that does not give you the excuse to go and exterminate your spouse. Number 4, speaking of death, a study published by the Journal of Health and Social Behavior, I'm going to read this to you, found that divorced or widowed people have 20% more chronic health conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and cancer than people who are married. Careful. Number 5 would be financial repercussions. You're going to have spouse support, maybe even child support. The cost of a divorce is 10 to 20,000 per person these days, along with splitting the assets. Number 6 would be dealing with the custody of the kids if you have kids, and them going from house to house and not really having one home. It's a major divide of the family, and now you'll have to schedule time to see your kids instead of being with them all the time. Number 7 is, speaking of your kids, it actually forces them to choose sides sometimes, and they're more vulnerable to crimes and alcohol and drugs and social pressures. They feel insecure and have trouble relating to others. They have feelings of loss and anger and confusion and anxiety and many others. Number 8 would be, if you have kids, that they will miss out on healthy, consistent discipline and training because the time you have with them now will be limited and you won't feel like disciplining them. And number 9 would be the holidays and birthdays will be more difficult to manage and to celebrate. Now, obviously, I'm not asking you to stay in an abusive or adulterous situation, but what I am asking you is to see everybody's side of this deal before you make that decision. Remember, the only person you can change is yourself. So go ahead and make the necessary changes that you feel like you need to make on yourself and just see if it affects your spouse. And remember, Jesus can change you from the inside out. He is really good at that. In the next video, we're going to discover the one thing that really helps a marriage to be great. To help marriages and families, go ahead and tap that like and subscribe button. Preach.